So your real estate investor website is not getting any motivated sellers. This is a problem. We get motivated sellers for our clients and ourselves every single day, and this is something that is absolutely necessary if you are a wholesaler or a flipper in any local market that you do deals in. So this is a very powerful way to get motivated sellers. Obviously, if someone's looking up on Google, sell my house fast, sell my house for cash, cash home buyers near me, anything like that, and they go into your website, fill out your form, this is the hottest lead you will ever experience. And obviously looking at my profile here and looking at my website on a SERP in my local area in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls, my company is obviously ranking in the top local 3-pack as well as organically at the top. So obviously it's taken us a while to get here, a lot of trial and error, and obviously we weren't getting motivated sellers from our website right away, but how do we get as many as we do now? Obviously now we're getting anywhere from 2 to 3 deals every single month, and we're only in a market of 250,000 people-ish, right? Almost 300,000 of a metro area. So how do we do that? Well, at the end of the day, you just got to follow a few steps. And so we're going to go through why your website isn't getting motivated sellers and how to fix it. So very simple. Obviously, you now know me. My name is Dawson Skorcheski. I am the owner of marketingformotivatedsellers.com, where we do website SEO, Google Business Profiles, and Google PPC for people, local wholesalers in metro markets all across the country, and people are absolutely crushing it with us. Now, if you're interested in any part of this video and you want to have SEO or Google PPC or anything like that done for you, click the link below. I'd love to hop on a call with you. But we're going to go through exactly your website, why it's not getting motivated sellers, and how to fix it. It starts off with a few things. Very simple. Number one, it doesn't rank. And number two, it doesn't convert. Now, what do you mean it doesn't rank? What does that exactly mean? Because some of us really don't understand the whole SEO type of thing. How can people find it? How does it even happen? Well, at the end of the day, Google is trying to discover a couple things when they are ranking websites on Google. Ranking meaning when someone looks up, sell my house fast, sell my house cash, cash home buyers near me. Any of these keywords where a motivated house seller would look up on Google would find your website. The only way they're going to find your website is if your website or your profile or your Google PPC ad shows up. But at the end of the day, we're talking about our website here, so your website is not ranking. So when these people look up these motivated keywords, they're finding your competitors and not yourself. And that's a problem because all your competitors are getting these hot and crazy awesome motivated sellers and not you. That's an issue. We're going to figure out how to do that today. Also, number two, it doesn't convert. So we're going to figure out, okay, when someone opens up your website, how do they go from there, right? Is it well designed? Do they have to fill out a form? How do you know when a motivated seller comes in? There's a lot more in the process than a lot of people think. But I will say that building a website is a lot simpler than you think, but it's definitely not easy. There's a lot of things to go around, and you watch a lot of YouTube videos where people just are rambling and they all have different opinions. So what is there to believe? Well, I'm going to make it much easier for you today. So it doesn't rank and it doesn't convert. Now, how do we do that? Now, how do we get it to rank, or how does a motivated seller actually come into our website? How do we get them? Well, there's 3 ways: SEO, Google Business Profiles, and Google PPC. We're going to make it very simple. SEO is pretty much the process of someone looking up sell my house fast Sioux Falls, and then they go in here as well and they click on your website, right? They open up your website and then it opens it up and you can go in here, it's all designed, they can put in their property address and they can get their cash offer, right? Very simple, nothing too crazy. That's SEO, but SEO kind of ties in with Google Business Profile, but it's just a whole different thing, so don't mind that. Now, the second thing is going to be Google Business Profiles. When they look up Sell My House Fast, they're like, oh, who's the local businesses doing this, right? Obviously, ours, we have 83 reviews. That definitely helps, but it's not the end-all be-all. A lot of people think that, oh, you need a lot of reviews to rank. What about this guy? He's got no reviews, and he's ranking. So there's a lot more to it than ranking in the local 3-pack than reviews, I promise you. You could have 100 reviews and your profile sucks. You still won't rank. Seriously. So that's the second thing, Google Business Profile. Third thing is going to be using PPC. Obviously, my campaign isn't going to show up on my own Google browser, but this is our Google PPC campaign. We show up 95%, and statistically actually show up 95% of the time on all the keywords that we're targeting. So obviously, a lot of people think it's expensive. It's a lot of budget to do that. Well, you get to pay less money if your campaign is optimized more. And so that's also something we'll slightly dive into today. Now, this isn't going to be a very crazy video. I have hour-long videos out there teaching you exactly what to do on SEO and Google Business Profiles. I'll be coming out with some PPC ones here soon, but we'll want to get some things tied in with that. But SEO and Google Business Profile videos are going to be linked below exactly in the order that you need to watch them if you are brand new and want to start a website and literally don't have the money to necessarily pay for somebody like me or somebody else, but you want to do it yourself. It literally don't pay anything for a course. Watch those videos. It will tell you everything you need to know. So with that being said, we'll move on. Now, we've mastered the 3 things: how a motivated seller is actually going to find you and fill out a form and actually want to request a cash offer. So what's next? Well, we need to make sure it's set up to convert and designed well. So when we go in here, obviously this design I would consider it very subpar. I actually haven't changed the design whatsoever at all. From when I first started it, I literally made it from scratch. I didn't pay a designer at all, couldn't afford it at the time. And so this was probably 4 years ago now since I made this, which is kind of funny. But anyways, it's very simple. You need to make sure that first you rank it. That's the first and foremost thing. Now they found it. Okay, great. So they're going to open it up and they're going to want to make sure it's local. So what I like to do is I at least like to have a background photo of your local area, assuming that you do deals in one metro market, which if you're going to do SEO, that's probably the only way to go. If you're going to do other states and stuff, it gets very difficult. I would just choose one metro market. Now, you have these photos back here. This is the photo of the city. Then you have a form to fill out about their property right away. This is very important because these people are extremely motivated, right? If they're looking up sell my house cash, sell my house fast, whatever, and they open up your website and it says we buy homes in Sioux Falls, and they fill out, like, they want to make it easy. They want to get a cash offer, right? And it's very simple. You don't have to overthink this at all. Some people, they have a button where it says request a cash offer with a button. Now, you're going to weave some people out with that, right? Because a lot of these sellers, sometimes they just open up a website and bam, they just scroll through it 1 second, they're out, right? It can be very simple. Make it easy for them to go and fill in a form, click the cash offer now button, and then you get a notification on your phone or an email, right? Obviously, using Carrot is my favorite way because these templates, I literally made this template 4 years ago within the software. It's a great software. It's a fully developed, it automatically does everything. Now, I've done websites with WordPress for other clients and stuff like that. It's very difficult because with WordPress, you have to fully develop it, design it yourself, right? Or if you hire somebody, luckily I have people on my team who do it, but when they fill out the form, you even don't realize, oh wait, how are they going to know or how am I going to know if a motivated seller actually fills out the form? That's the tough part about WordPress as well, and a lot of people don't know. Carrot literally makes it super simple. You can make a template just like this within seconds. 15 seconds probably. And they came out with way better ones even in the last few years. I mean, it's getting crazy how good they are. But now it may make it very simple. It's fully developed. You don't have to do anything outside for development, design, code, anything. You can be any type of real estate investor with any knowledge, and it is a full service platform to literally make a website start to finish for you without having to hire anybody. So you're saving so much money just by using Carrot. But if you're interested in Carrot, I got the link below. It's an affiliate link. So if you want to support the channel, go ahead. But anyway, so that's design. We want to make sure we have it as somewhat local design. Design isn't the greatest thing. I'm more concerned about ranking than design. But at least if you click on the website and make sure that it actually loads quickly, it doesn't sit there and load for 10 plus seconds and it's sitting there spinning no matter how fast your Wi-Fi is, that's a problem. Because naturally people are going to click on your website, they're going to bounce out because it didn't load, and then that's going to hurt your ranking because nobody is able to go on your website. So then they bounce really quickly. In Google's mind, they're like, okay, why are people leaving so quickly? This must suck. So then they leave right away. But anyways, so that's like the design, the development, making sure it converts. Have a decent design. It doesn't need to be crazy. Make sure it's fast. If you have Carrot already, it literally, you don't have to do anything with any site speed, anything like that. It automatically is there for you. And make it easy for them to fill out the form. Make it easy for them to convert and realize, okay, we buy homes in Sioux Falls. Do you want to sell your house? Get a free cash offer. Fill out the form. You don't even need to read the rest of the website if you don't want to, right? It's very simple. Don't overthink this. So that's the simple part of SEO and everything like that. Now, we're going to go really actually to ranking the website. This is where it gets to the nitty gritty, where if I ever start to lose you, please just feel free to comment below, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever the case may be, and I'll happily help you out. But if you want to really get deep dive into the videos where I go 1 hour long, fully unedited, just talking about how I got my website to rank. And I was actually, those videos where I made a client's website in a very competitive area, start to finish. So with that being said, we're going to move back to SEO, Google Business Profile, and PPC. So SEO. So if you're a beginner and you don't know what it is, as far as like how it ranks, that websites, yes, they do, there is a factor in them ranking. There is a huge factor in how they rank, why they rank. When I first started looking into this, I was like, how does a website even rank? I don't get it. How does one website rank over another? It comes down to very simple two things with SEO. Google, their business is providing the most relevant and credible businesses for a person who is looking up a keyword in Google. If you were looking up carpet cleaning or pressure washing or whatever in your local area, Google's going to naturally give the best results for the people who are relevant and credible. So people who are all about pressure washing, they're a pressure washing company, and they're also very credible. Now, how do they dictate that, right? Well, with SEO to start, we'll talk about business profiles later, but SEO to start, it's all about making sure your content is dialed in. What does that mean? Well, for example, if you were to rank, if you wanted to rank for Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls, what would happen is I would go in here and I would go in the top 3 websites that are ranking. And this is what we call competition analysis. That's the first step in SEO. You're going to analyze your competitors and see how they ranked. And you're going to use a Google Chrome extension that you can use called, I'll just type it in, it's SEO Quake. You can totally use it. It's free. It's completely free. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to tell you how many words they have on their webpage, how many headings they have, how many times they use each word. And this is pretty crazy, but it matters, right? It matters significantly because this goes where the relevancy comes in, right? 95% of SEO is relevancy, and you need to make sure that you are relevant before anything. And this is where I'll get into my next point, where we go into credibility, where this is most commonly known as backlinks. And obviously there's other factors to credibility, like brand searches and a few other things to that. But backlinks are going to be a huge factor, assuming you don't get a ton of brand searches quite yet, or at least you need backlinks to rank. What are backlinks? It's basically a website that says, hey, I'm writing this article about Sioux Empire home buyers. They're the best home buying company in Sioux Falls, and I'm gonna link to them because they're so cool, right? Basically, what Google's gonna see is they give each website and web page a domain rating, right, or a page authority score. And what happens there is basically Google is giving them a credibility score. So if they write an article about you, and they write it all about Sioux Empire home buyers, and they write it how cool we are and how we're the best home buying company in Sioux Falls, and we get a link from that company, that's basically telling Google's eyes, hey, these people like them a lot, so why don't we like them, right? You're going to get huge brownie points just to shoot up, but the only way to shoot up is if your on-page is mastered. So that's the first thing you're going to do, and I have the link below to the video to analyze your competition completely for 1 hour. Right? It's just me analyzing competition for a high competitive area, how we wrote the content, right? And so that's the first thing you're going to do is analyze the competition. Then you're going to write the content, which I also will have another video down there. Then once you do that, you're going to add some backlinks, which commonly are going to be directories. And the best ones you're going to want to get right away are directories and citations and social media. Now, what this basically means is you are going to basically sign up for Yelp, Yellow Pages. You're going to get a Zillow profile. You're going to make an Instagram page. You're going to make a Facebook. You're going to make a Better Business Bureau profile. You're going to do all these things because you need to start showing credibility to Google. Yes, and these are very easy to get. They're almost free, right? Better Business Bureau, you have to pay for that. That one's not completely necessary, but it definitely helps. So go ahead and get all the basic directories, citations, anything where you can make a profile and put your website link in there, which I will also have another video in the description for that. So that's SEO. You pretty much need to analyze your competition. Okay, how did they write their website to match up with mine? Because, for example, if the top 3 guys in here, and you go on my website, then you go on my other competitor's website, and we all on average have 3,000 words. Okay, you need to make sure in your website at least you have 3,000 words. Otherwise, if you have 1,000, it's going to be very tough to beat. It's going to be very tough to beat unless you have other outside factors or you have 500 brand searches a month from other marketing that you run. That could also play a factor. But that's on page. Then off page is going to be getting backlinks. You really don't need much more than this. It's just getting directories and citations and all the good stuff like Zillow profiles, social media, Instagram, Facebook profile, everything like that. That's what you want to do with your website SEO. Like I said, if you have any questions on setting up your website SEO, go link in the description. I have 1 hour long videos on how to do this. So, second thing we're going to go over is our Google Business Profile. Now, your DBA is going to matter significantly, right? Empire home buyers. It's obviously not using our keywords. Like you go to priority home buyers and they got a lot of stuff going on here, which that's where you get into the black hat, white hat SEO. Hey, it works for them, but for me, I'm not risking my local business. I've had it for a long time, and it's longevity-wise, it's a lot easier to keep it for longer when you do it the more white hat way. And so, when you do this, your DBA is going to matter significantly. Obviously, if I had Sue Empire Lawn Care in here, this would be a problem. I need to have something related, right? I like to use Sue Empire Home Buyers, and it's just going to naturally rank pretty good, right? So the DBA is going to be the biggest factor as well. So the biggest factors in Google Business Profiles on how they rank. It's not reviews, and it's not how long you've been in business. A lot of people think that it is. I promise. It's not. So, because we were ranking with 5 reviews before, right? Now we have 80, so it's a lot. It's definitely a help. But your DBA is going to significantly increase your ranking, as well as your business address, right? Our business address is located in Sioux Falls, in the central part of Sioux Falls. So where we do a lot of deals, the proximity is going to be closer to where people are actually looking up to sell their house fast. This is very important. If you do most of your deals in the central part of your metro or the older part of your metro or wherever, it's best to do this because proximity is going to play a huge factor no matter how good your profile is. If somebody has a profile just as good as yours and they are closer to the motivated seller, they're naturally going to rank better. So it's better to have your address, and you can use a virtual mailbox for this. I typically use iPostal, and it works very good. I mean, you can click on this, and you can get a virtual mailbox that Google will allow for $10 a month. So it's pretty good. So that's the second thing that's going to be a huge factor. Then the third thing that's going to also be a huge factor is, let me find it here. So let's go through here. Okay. Never mind. We'll just go ahead and stick with DBA and proximity, right? That's going to be the 2 biggest things that make sure that you are ranking very, very well. Now, you can obviously do additions to the page, right? Like priority home buyers, if you want to add this, I mean, that's going to increase your ranking. Problem is you risk getting your Google Business Profile suspended, so just keep that in mind. And once it's suspended, I've had this happen to me before, not on my personal website, but other clients, and it is a pain. It is a pain because now your website is linked to the profile, and once it gets suspended, it significantly drops your website, and it's very, very hard to get it back up. It takes a very long time. So if you don't have the DBA, the actual DBA for the name, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but obviously do it at your own discretion. You heard it from me. So anyways, you can add a few things like products, categories, all this stuff, right? You can post. I don't think posting is the biggest deal, but if your competitors are doing it every day, I would recommend you also do it. So that's Google Business Profile. If you just consistently, it's very basic, and I have a whole video also in the description and link in the description that goes literally in a deep dive how to set up your Google Business Profile to actually rank in a very in-depth manner. Basically, make sure your DBA is something sort of motivated seller, what they would look up. Second thing is make sure your address is near where you do most of your deals, because this is going to significantly help you get better motivated sellers. And that is really it. Besides, make sure you just try to get 1 review a week. It can be from anybody that you know. It can be family, friends, people who buy houses, like cash buyers, title company people, actual motivated sellers, or actual people that you do deals with. Get 1 to 2 a week, and I promise you, like we got 83, and it wasn't like we got all at the same time. Do not do that. Just get 1 or 2 a week. So that's Google Business Profile. Very simple terms. Like I said, if you have any questions on that, click the link in the description, and you can watch the entire video on how to do it start to finish. Now, third, you're going to go to PPC. Now, this is why I run PPC. Everybody asks me this question, well, why do you run PPC if your profile's ranking and your website's ranking? Well, it's very simple. Sometimes you're going to look up some random keywords like get a fast cash offer now for my house. Sometimes there's going to be somebody that's going to outrank you for that unintentionally. No matter how good your website's going to be, no matter how good your profile is going to be, there's going to be somebody that could possibly outrank you, especially in these more competitive areas. So this comes in a benefit, PPC does, when you want to just make sure you have an at-bat at every single motivated seller that comes in. Now, with PPC, basically what it is it stands for Google Pay Per Click, so they charge you every time somebody clicks on the link. Now, this is where it gets really in-depth because where I like to run Google PPC campaigns is by using exact match keywords. Now, we're not going to go in depth in it today, but I like to stay very exact match. I only like to run campaigns for keywords that are very high motivated. Sell my house fast, sell my house cash. Really, those two are the best. But I mean, sell my house fast for cash. You know, just keep it very motivated because you don't want Google to start showing your ad for all these other keywords where people aren't actually motivated. I only want to spend money on people who click on the website, on the sponsored ad, who are actually motivated to sell. So that's the good thing about that. Now, that's what I would do is run exact match. It does cost money every month. I mean, in a city like this, 250,000 people, I mean, I'm spending anywhere, $750 a month to $1,000 a month. In bigger markets where I run it for people in like South Florida and all these other very much more competitive areas, you're running yourself anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So just keep that in mind. You don't necessarily need PPC, but it's the definite complete of having a trifecta, or what I like to call it, because if someone looks up Sell My House Fast, they see your Google PPC, now they see your profile. And you can also optionally run an ad for Google Business Profile as well, which I also do. And then you have your website down here, and you're bound to get at least one motivated seller, no matter if they come through anytime, no matter what keyword, no matter what, you're bound to get at least one of those things to work. Right, you're bound to at least get one of those things to give yourself an at-bat to get a motivated seller. So that's what I call the trifecta system, and that's why I'm a huge fan of SEO, Google Business Profiles, and PPC. Now, for my clients, I run all of our websites. I am the GC. I have my team behind me, but I am the one who is strategizing all of these plans on exactly how to get motivated sellers, because this is by far the best way to get motivated sellers in 2025 and probably forever, because Google, I don't think it's going to go away. Yeah, we got AI, got all this stuff coming around, but naturally, Google is going to be the man for a long, long, long time. Everybody's coming to Google. Anytime I'm looking for a carpet cleaner or anything like that, I'm going to Google. Everybody's going to Google. So why not get a website and make sure you are the man in your local market? So that's what I do for clients all across the country. Now, obviously, I'm the owner of marketing for motivatedsellers.com, where we pretty much keep it very simple. I'm a boutique marketing agency that does it just for real estate investors. Now, I do it because I believe in it, and it works so well for my company that I do it for all others across the country. Now, I keep it very limited to one person per metro market because my relationships with my clients last years and years, right? That I build it to not just take anybody on. So I have an application if you want to fill it out in the link below. But otherwise, I appreciate you watching the video. If you're interested in getting your website at the top of Google and you don't want to do it yourself, feel free to hop on a call with me and apply now. I'd love to chat with you and see if it's a great fit for you, but I want to make sure it's good for you. Now, thanks for watching the video. If you want to go ahead and watch the videos below and want to start your website from scratch and you want to actually get it to rank without having to buy a course and you want to just get motivated sellers just like everybody does here, watch the videos in the link below and I would greatly appreciate it. Like if you enjoyed the video, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe as it helps me out a lot. But I appreciate you watching.